Were the staff at HMP Newhall compassionate and understanding of mental health issues? And what happened to the people that were struggling and, suicidal with mental health? This is what this video is all about. And if you are new to me, hey, feel free to say hey in the comments. I am quite friendly. And ask me any questions you'd like me to answer in the next video, and I will answer them. So subscribe for that. But also subscribe because I've got a giveaway coming up at 1,050 subscribers. I'm going to be giving away to one lucky subscriber all of my paperback books and a £50 Amazon gift voucher to spend on whatever you like. I make honest videos about the mental health system in the UK, and also honest videos about what goes on in the prison system as well as inspirational interviews. So yeah, HMP Newhall. When I was there were so many people struggling with mental health, and that is just another that's just another example of how underfunded and how broken the so-called mental health system is. People that are struggling and suicidal don't belong in prison, yet I was there, and so many others, that were self-harming, that were hearing voices, that were screaming. It's not a place for desperation, and my heart goes out to those people. And no, the staff were compassionate, and that doesn't surprise me at all. But no, they weren't. Not every single member of staff was bad, but most of the staff had a very much, oh, just get on with it attitude, or you know what, that's the way it is, or it's not that serious kind of attitude. And the first thing I'm going to say properly is I was on mental health medication when I went into the prison. I shouldn't have been there, and I made another video about why they said I was going there and what my other experiences in there were like, and you can watch that video here. I'm link in the description. But look, I was on medication and I was asking for that. I was on fluoxetine and something else, but I had to wait like over a week before I actually got it, and I started to really feel the difference, because you can't just suddenly go cold turkey on mental health medication. But they forced me to while I was in there. They said, oh, we need to do checks, we need to do checks, we need to do checks. And it's like, just ring the doctors. I'm telling you that I'm on these medications, I need them, but they wouldn't have it. So that in itself is quite, irresponsible to do that to somebody. And also the comments that the staff used to make, they used to say stuff like, oh, welcome to the loony bin, there's that many loonies in here, and stuff like that. And if someone was self-harming, which was a regular thing in there, people did self-harm, people did speak about feeling suicidal, and the staff were like, oh, it's just another one that, just mop up your own blood. And, there was, I'm not going to go into any explicit detail, but there was one time and a few times that I did self-harm, and the staff told me off. They used to say stuff like, oh, don't do that again, it's such a load of paperwork, and oh, when you self-harm, it makes us stay longer because we have to fill in forms and stuff. And, there was one member of staff that literally, handed me like a load of small plasters and a load of like wipes, like individual sachets of like alcohol wipe to like clean myself up, and that's it. They just said, oh, well, I know you're gonna bloody do it again anyway, so I don't know why I bother. And she handed me a load of that stuff and left. So no, there's no compassion. Not while I was there. I can't speak for anyone else's experience, but I was there in 2015 and I was there again in 2016. So no, not like I said, not every single member of staff was bad, but most didn't give a hoot, really, didn't give a shit, really. There was there any treatment? No, not really, because it prison, and the first thing that comes to mind for mental health treatment would be a psychologist in the community, or in a mental health hospital, or group therapies, or DBT, CBT. I didn't get that on my first time in prison, even though I was really, really suicidal and ill. I was asking for help. I was asking to be assessed. I was asking to go out back into community. I was asking to speak to a psychologist. I was asking to speak to all sorts. I knew that I was ill. I was hearing voices. I was having night terrors. Like I used to wake up, and I still do occasionally because I've got PTSD with a shaking sweat and throwing up, and the staff didn't know how to help me, and you know it was terrible. It really was a bad time. So no, I didn't get any so-called treatment there. Um, my second time in jail was literally, I was only there for 6 weeks, and I did again ask for some support. They put me both times. They put me on the healthcare with the mental health part of the prison, and you would have thought that it would have been better for people struggling, but to be honest, I found it worse, and a lot of the other people there said it was worse. I mean, it was so understaffed. Like literally, you couldn't come out your room half the time because there was no staff. Like you would have thought that that place would have had more resources, but it was literally smaller and so lack of staff. So it was almost like a punishment that I was self-harming. So I've been sent to a place now where I can't come out my room. I can't hardly use the phone. Can't have a shower because there's not enough staff to let me out my room. So it made me worse being there. There was also a camera in my cell in that healthcare. So there was no privacy, and it did nothing for me. I felt worse. Um, was there any mental health nurses? Was there any mental health psychiatrists that visit me there? Nope. Um, like I said, the second time that I was in prison, I kept asking to see somebody, and it took about a month. But then I got to see somebody that was like a DBT, CBT. It was like one-to-one sessions, which it was okay waiting time. I mean, in an ideal world, it would be a lot quicker. But out here in the community, you're waiting years and years. In there, it was about a month. But when I left, because I was only on remand, I was only not remand. Sorry, I was only like being assessed. And I shouldn't have been there, and they kind of agreed that I shouldn't be there. Um, but nothing followed up. Like the work that I started with the therapist in there didn't follow up, so I started something and then I had to stop it. And again, that's another bad thing. Um, while I was there, two women took their own life. Unfortunately, I didn't witness it or see it or anything like that, but I know about this because the staff put a note under my door and said that there's been some deaths and it could be, it's a suicide. And to think of the family and all that during this time, and I can't remember what else it said, but there was some restrictions on something at that time, and at the time I didn't think much of it because I thought, oh well, this happens and it really is a tragedy. But looking back, 2 suicides within 6 weeks on the same wing, that's bad. And that is another example of how underfunded mental health is in this country. Desperate people are attempting suicide and they're being sent to jail because there isn't any mental health hospitals. And even when people do go into mental health hospitals, a lot of the time there's abuse that goes on. And I've made other videos about that on this channel, and people sometimes even get locked in these places for decades. My experience of HMP Newhall it's better than my experiences in mental health hospitals, but it did nothing for my mental health. It made it worse. But so did being in a mental hospital, if I'm honest. Would I, like, I've made another video on this, I'd prefer to be in prison than a hospital. But they both didn't do any good for me. Yeah, a lot of people have got other questions, they've asked me about Rose West and stuff like that. I'll answer those in the upcoming video. Yeah, I mean, I do believe that that scum of an individual was at HMP Newhall while I was there. I don't really care. I think she was there. I didn't see her. I don't want to see her. But I think she was. So that answers one question. But, like I said, subscribe and ask me anything. I just hope that one day the government can look at rehabilitation properly and it isn't just punishment. A lot of times people come to prison because they don't get support, or because, the needs have been unmet for so long. I've met so many people in that jail that they were lovely people, with bipolar or schizophrenia or whatever, and they just didn't get any help in the community, and they struggled so much and they ended up in the jail, and that's a common story. And that's what happened to me as well. But anyway, yeah, no, the answer to the question is no. It was terrible, and I hope that one day things change, but it won't be for a while. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching and listening. I've got more videos coming soon about this and my mental health hospital abuse experiences as a kid. And the playlist is in the description. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Love and light. It's been Michelle. Thank you. Have a nice day.